The news of an imminent lifting of the UK's blanket quarantine rules coincided with a cold grey drizzle in southwest London, a good incentive perhaps to consider a foreign holiday in the sunny Mediterranean. Since June the 8th, nearly all arrivals into Britain have had to endure a compulsory 14-day quarantine or face a penalty equivalent to $1,250. From July 6th, British tourists will have a list of countries where they can go without having to self-isolate when they get back. It also opens up Britain to welcome foreign tourists from those listed countries. Under a traffic light system, only arrivals from red countries will still have to quarantine. But there are signs that it's come too late to save this summer. A random sample of shoppers in Kingston found little appetite for a last-minute break.
Yeah, it's too late for this year now. Wait till next year.
We'll leave it this year. It'll be a staycation. We'll see how it goes, but I think foreign travel will be too much hassle and too much of a risk.
Well, I work for the NHS, so I'm also conscious of trying to protect the health service and the kind of pressure on the system. So yes, similarly, I think we'll stay at home, probably continue to self-isolate and stay in this country for the time being.
The list of green and amber countries is still being finalised and will change if there's an increase in the COVID-19 infection rate. But for the travel and hospitality industry, it's a breakthrough. Most UK travel shops remain shut, but online bookings and inquiries rose sharply following the government's quarantine announcement. And several tour operators reported it was their busiest Saturday ever.
Well, I think there are two things that will definitely be happening, which is, first of all, competitive pricing. If you are trying to attract new business, you don't put your prices up very high. So that's one thing. There'll be a lot of good deals around. And that's not just our members, travel agents and tour operators. There's also overseas hotels be very keen on getting Brits back again. And I've also seen announcements by certain governments, for example, the Italian one, that they're going to encourage hotels, bars and restaurants, etc., to stay open later in the season.
European Union diplomats are also considering this weekend whether to relax the current restrictions on travellers entering the EU's external borders. An announcement on that is also expected early next week. For many, though, 2020 will be the year of the staycation. Brennan, Al Jazeera, Southwest London.